All right, killer knife fans, and those of you who are interested in the disassembly of a Grimsmo Norseman, we're going to take this baby apart. This did come with a Pelican case. Comes with the DOB and the info in it. You can see that, and it comes with the T9. They send that, and they also send nano 10-weight oil. We're not going to use this. We're going to use the free spinning tool that I have instead. The iFixit with the T9. All right, so just going to close the blade up. You have the proprietary pivot in the front here, which will prevent this from spinning as we take it apart. All right. This is the first time I took this apart. Pivot's coming out real easy. All right. The Grimsmos make all their own hardware, and they do like nice little designs on it. So it's definitely some pricing that has to do with that there. Let's see if it'll focus. It's the anti-focus. All right. As you can see, there's definitely some milling going on in there. All right. Just take this apart. I don't know how much of the stuff we'll actually have to take apart. I immediately felt the lock bar release as I did that. Norseman, April 2021. And you have the over travel stop. Very nice. All right, take this blade off nicely. Okay, have some ceramic bearings. Pop the other one out. All right, and again, some more milling work going on in there. Very cool. Most companies are not doing that. I know some are, but just a little extra touch. Pretty cool. Standoffs are in place still because we didn't remove the hardware there. All right, and I don't think we need to remove that. So let's check it out. It's the first time I ever took this apart. May or may not have said that. We're just going to clean it up. You'll notice here that there are two stop pins. So basically when this is on the track, you have a stop pin for the bottom of the track and a stop pin for when it's closed. And I do believe that they do that because it's kind of self-adjusting, and it also allows them to retain the longevity and the life of the knife, where if for some reason these wore down enough to create any rattle or any kind of malfeasance there, that you can send this back and they can just replace the pins with brand new pins, and then your action will be returned to normal, which is pretty cool. So all right, so first thing we'll do is we'll clean this up. If you guys watched my review of the knife, you'll know that I mentioned the anodizing here. John Grimsmo and Eric Grimsmo recommend using Windex to clean the anodizing. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Get this back to shining. And this, I think, from at least what I've done recently since I watched that video months ago, is I've been using Windex on most of my anodized knives, and it really works. I'm no scientist by any means, but something about the ammonia that returns it to its original sheen. I guess as long as you don't scratch it or whatever. Obviously, if you scratch it, you're going to get down to the real titanium there. Just get all this nice and clean. This knife is not dirty by any means. I haven't had it out in the woods, or I haven't done any wood chopping or anything of that nature with this knife. So it's pretty clean. So I do like the milling here on the blade, and I do like the idea of the blade running on a track and running on bearings. This gives you a lot of assurance that your knife's not going to break down and stop working on you if you are using your knife relatively hard. I'm sure it's possible to break any knife. I wouldn't know. I've never purposely tried to break my knife. And you can see here too, let's get this to focus. They do a nice cutout here for the ceramic ball detent. Okay, that's really beautiful. I've never seen anybody do that. So that's like a nice detent ramp. And as far as the ceramic interface goes, they actually flatten the ceramic ball. I'm not sure how well I can capture that for you guys, but it makes it like super duper smooth, the action. All right, pretty much it there. So we'll just put this back together now, and you gotta find some happiness in the ease of disassembly there. You know, that to me adds value to a knife, when you can disassemble something quickly to maintain it and get it right back together very quickly. To me, that's a valuable interface, so you don't have to spend a lot of time. So we're just gonna start putting this back together right away, and we'll start with the side that has the 2 stop pins, and let's do some nano oil in there. We're gonna place our bearing. All right, get that in there, and then this side gets the pin. You're gonna want to make sure you put that heads side up so it's not upside down. If it doesn't matter to you, then just put it in there any way you want. I prefer that it's the right way up. Let's make sure it's in there. Should just pop right in when it's in, which it is. Place that back down. You can fix that anyways, but we'll put a little more nano oil on the bearing, and then we will get the blade back on the track here. The tolerances are beautiful on this knife. Like, they're not, you can tell it's put together perfectly, but it's also not like the Chris Reeves knives where it's a little tough to get it back together. So I kind of appreciate that. Also, ease of maintenance, right? A little more nano oil for the second bearing. Okay, pop that on top. You know, there's probably no reason for me to take this apart. There was nothing wrong with the action or anything like that. Nothing that really bothered me. But it's always nice to see the internals of a knife that you really appreciate And it's, for me, it creates greater appreciation. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of the grease here on the track, and it'll work itself in. I'm just going to put a little bit. I think this will help with some of the action. Maybe slow down the drop shuttiness a tad. It's a very drop shutty knife. It's not dangerous or anything, but we'll see. I like to play around with it. All right, so everything is in place. I'm gonna put the frame lock side back in gently. And like I said, you can see the spring there. Like, it springs back. So the knife has a nice strong detent to it, and the frame, how it's bent, really assists with that. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite here, very little, just enough to hold it in there. We'll put the pivot screw in first. That'll help hold the frame in place because it's very springy. All right. It's also really nice that the hardware is all the same size. I wish more makers would do that. You know, you're changing back and forth on a lot of knives. Sometimes 2, 3 different bits. It's not like it upsets me or anything, but it makes it a lot easier when you don't have to worry about that. And you can just use the same thing the entire time. Much nicer. That was very smooth, very easy. If you guys ever watched my Strider breakdown, you'll understand, you know, there's a huge difference between this knife, breaking down this knife, and breaking down that Strider. And let's check it. We'll check it for blade play. Absolutely nothing. Up and down, nothing there. Beautiful. And I can feel that grease is like just kind of assisting in the drop shuttiness. Not so drop shutty. Still drop shutty, but ultra smooth now, which you got to be happy about. And you know, getting this anodization to be perfect is an uphill battle. So, you know, I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll give it one final wipe down. We'll let it chill on there. All right. And that's your disassembly of the Grimsmo Norseman. Super simple. I'm just going to double check the pivot is tight enough. See? Wow. Jeez. Guys, if you have ever wanted a knife as bad as I've wanted this knife, and you're considering buying this, you will not be disappointed. And the way you can just totally adjust the detent. It's extremely adjustable based on how you tighten this pivot and the springiness of the frame lock. You can see now, beautiful, quiet, drop shutty, beautiful. Cool, guys. Subscribe, like, comment below if you like my video. Stay connected with me on Instagram. Subscribe there and check out all my daily photo content there. And there's some videos on there. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. And I'm out of here.